Good evening, Javier Franco. A perspective from my porch. I'm actually in my truck today. I'm just sitting in front of my house at this point. Um, Today was a very frustrating day at my little shop. Uh, Things were just not quite working out the way I wanted them to work out. There were some issues that came up. There were some problems that came up also that I just did not have any control over. Um, as I was sitting there, I was very, very frustrated. And to the point that it was like, okay, maybe I just need to give up. Maybe I just need to stop what I'm doing and figure something else out. Here's the thing about that. Um, we all go through that. At some point, we go through doubts in our mind. We go through uh, questions in our mind. We start overthinking. I've been seeing a lot of that lately, is that people are overthinking. Well, I started overthinking today. I started thinking, well, this is not what I'm supposed to do. This is not da 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 da. As I was sitting there, a friend of mine, John Briery, I will say that he's from Wayland. He went to college with me. He's a counselor. Came in, surprised me, just totally surprised me that he was here in Sweetwater. Um, and we spoke. We spoke about some things, and I just pretty much told him the blessings that I have had in my life in the last few months. Uh, I know I've had blessings before that, but these last few months there have been a lot of blessings that have come up in my life. As I sat there, once he left, I sat there and I thought to myself, the obstacles of our lives are lessons that we have to learn. And the lessons that we have to learn are important because once we learn from those lessons, we become successful in that one area in which we are starting to doubt. I sat there, reevaluated, I refocused. I have to refocus. As individuals, we're going to go through that. We're going to see that in our lives. We're going to have problems that come up. We're going to have frustrations, unexpected things that are going to come up, and it's going to it's going to make us want to give up sometimes. It's going to make us want to just stop. I was at that point today. Um, as I was sitting there by myself, and I had some people there, and they left. I sat there and I looked around, and I was like, no, I'm not going to give up. A friend of mine said, quit being so negative. And I was very negative today. And I think we get to that point when things are just not working. Like Tuesday, I talked about taking the long road. I talked about taking a different route that we need to do from time to time so we can learn a lesson, so we can have a safer passage. Today was one of those side roads. Today was one of those times that I had to take a different route. I've learned from my mistake. Yes, it was tough. Yes, I wanted to give up. But you know what? That does not make me a failure. Um, I believe it was Thomas Edison. I know that Og Mandino wrote it also in one of his books. It says, failures are stepping stones to our success. The more I fail, the more I learn. The more I learn, the closer I get to my success, the closer I get to where I need to be. I'm going to continue. I want you to continue. I want you to continue doing what you want to do. That is that you're supposed to be doing. Let me just say that. Some of us have a path that we need to take. We're having trouble with it. We're getting frustrated, and these are very frustrating days. There's so much negativity in the world right now. Don't give up. Don't stop. Keep going. Most of all, you know what I'm going to say. Love yourself more than anybody else. I love myself a lot today. After I went through my little spat, after I went through my little tantrum in my mind, um, I learned. I learned some things, and I know that I'm going to be successful because I I'm in charge of my life. And even though those problems come, even those obstacles come, I'm going to learn from those obstacles. I'm going to learn from those mistakes. I'm going to learn from those errors. Love yourself more than anybody else. I'll talk to you next week.